Okay, as we start introducing data into our jigs, we're going to spend a minute or two just discussing each data source. So in this first instance, we're talking about dynamic data. Dynamic data is the data provider that we provide at Jigx. It's a cloud database, makes it very, very easy for you to get going. Very easy to define tables. Simply go to your databases folder, go to the default.jigx file, and in there add an entry for every table that you want to do. You don't need to define the columns. That will be as part of your application definition, or you can jump onto the management interface and define your columns there. Once you've done that, you've got a database that's ready to go in the cloud. That database has some magic tricks associated with it, which we are going to explore as we look at the role of SQLite and dynamic data. Let's spend a quick minute talking about the role of SQLite. In the schematic, you can see that SQLite is connected to the mobile device, and that's because the mobile device actually renders its UI of data in the SQLite database. That SQLite database is blisteringly fast, which means that your mobile experience is always quick, and for your users, that creates a great experience. So what we need to do then is that we need to make sure that changes that are committed to that SQLite data store, as well as changes coming from a remote data store, are kept in sync. And the beauty of dynamic data is that it does all of that for you. So there's a real-time sync that is happening between dynamic data and the SQLite store. You don't have to do anything about that. It all happens automatically for you. It means that for all your users, any change made on one device is immediately available on another, or indeed if you make a change to cloud data, it's all immediately reflected on every device. So you have this seamless exchange of data real time, which we'll take a look at in a demo. But the other major advantage to note is that the device can go offline. So if the device is offline, from a user experience point of view, there is zero impact to the user. They will see whatever is on the SQLite database at that point in time. They can continue to read off that database, and indeed they can continue to update to that database. As soon as that device is then connected again to the internet, it will automatically then get its latest changes and push any changes up to the cloud. Let's take a quick look at this in a demo. Great, let's have a quick look at a demo of dynamic data. So you'll recall from our earlier session that we used our management interface to import data from a spreadsheet. That was the GDP and various other fun facts about various countries. And here we are in that management interface with the phone doing that. Just the physics of this. This cloud database is sitting in a data center in the US. My phone is obviously here in west of London. So a fair amount of geography in between the two. But let's go and update a record and see what's happened. So I'm going to pick this first record, which is the GDP of the Czech Republic. And we're going to say they had a good growth year. So their GDP went up to 260. Keep an eye on the GDP of the Czech Republic in the app as I hit save. We'll see that immediately that sync has synced from the cloud down to the device. I'm going to do it once more just so that now that you know what you're looking for, you can look. Let's take that GDP back to what it was originally. So it was 249.9. Watch it on the mobile device. I hit save and instantly that change is reflected. Great. Now what I've also done is I've done a little nice thing on the phone is that I can actually update the photo on the data on the phone. So let's do it the opposite way. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to update on the phone. We'll do the same change. I'll update this to say 270, a little bit more optimistic. And let's update on here. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't reflect, but that's just the physics of a web browser. But if I update here and I refresh, we'll see that that's also instantly reflected. So there you go. Changes on the phone reflected. And of course, if we had multiple phones all subscribing to this data, they would all instantly get a copy of this data. So pretty neat. We'll move on now and get back to some code.